What's going on, All Terrain Nation? It's your buddy Dave here, and today we are talking about the 7th generation Ford Mustang. That is right, the all-new Mustang is here, and people were rejoicing. They were just excited by this thing, and people were a little scared because, well, they thought we were going to get an EV. And, well, it's not an EV. Praise the car gods. We do know that that's coming down the road. And I have to say, in a time when other manufacturers, I'm looking at you, Dodge, going, hey, we're all EV. The next generation Charger Challenger are going to be all EV. And we're going to pipe in this fake sound, like trombone sound or whatever they call it. We all know EV is going to be much faster than anything now. But the problem is, it doesn't give you goosebumps when you start it. This thing back here is going to give you a lot of goosebumps. And Ford has always done really well with that. And I want to commend them for their exhaust sounds. Ford, for probably the past 30 years, has had the best factory exhaust overall. I think, especially pound for pound, what you pay for this vehicle, when you push that start and you hear that little GT rumble, oh man, it's awesome. And I commend Ford for always paying attention to that, making the car sound great. Now, it may not always be the best performance vehicle, but I think, for the most part, we drive these things daily. We're not at the track. So I commend them for making them sound as best as they can. Now, speaking of sounding great, you got to get to the front of the car. We got an all-new Coyote engine. They're calling the 3rd generation Coyote engine. And, well, it's just kind of some minor tweaks. I do like the dual throttle bodies. What are they, like 80 millimeter throttle bodies with the dual air boxes and stuff? I like it, and that's to get a V8. You want that firepower in that motor. Well, you need as much oxygen in there as possible. And while I do think down the road, that's always like problems. Like you start tampering like that, there's always computer problems with that, and so be it. I think the tuner crowd will be happy till they found out that they're locking down the computer. That's right. That's one of the bummers about this one is they're no more being able to tamper with it. And they always said with the vet, oh, they'll eventually crack it. Nobody's cracked that thing just yet. And I think you're going to have to throw millions and millions of dollars to crack one of these things. And is it worth it for these tuning companies? I don't know. But it was a little snippet in there where Ford talked about locking it down. And I did find that to be, well, pretty interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think. Because I'm sure you want to, especially you 2.3 guys, you want to boost the shit out of these things. And I don't blame you. Now, while speaking of the 2.3, it is we're still getting a 2.3. And I've drove the 1st generation they put in the 2.3 in the Mustang, and it was fun at launch, and about past that, it just kind of was like, it just petered out, man. I whipped one in my stock G35. Like, they got me on the line, and after that, I just went by them. But I get what they're doing with the 2.3. You want to continue to make this Mustang affordable. That's right. You need an affordable Mustang, and Ford is known for that. They're known for the wide range of something for everybody, all the way to if you want the entry level or you want to go all the way right now to the GT500, there's a price point kind of for everybody. I use affordable in quotes there. But still, I do like the overall look. I like that the 2.3 now is going to get a different front end versus the V8s. They're kind of starting to make them look a little bit different. It's probably low-hanging fruit, low cost for them to do that, and I think it's needed. I never know when you got a Mustang coming at you, driving up at you. I rarely can tell which one it is anymore. So it'd be nice to kind of, and I think for the V8 guy to kind of distinguish themselves and be like, no, that's the 2.3. I'm the real deal. Anyways, I do like what they've done here. The front lights, of course, is kind of to me. I like how they've done that notch for the rear taillights. I like it a lot. I know some purists of the Mustang are just all up in arms about that. I think it looks cool. And how much more can you do with that? You've got those traditional three lights for the back, brake lights. There's not a lot more you can do with that. So they're just trying to make it more interesting and a little bit more style. And I commend them for it. Now, the big shoulders on this thing. We get a lot of Camaro vibes from this. And, I'm not the first one to mention this by any means. But that's when I saw this vehicle. When I got the spy photos of this thing, I was like, oh, that's kind of Camaro-like. But I have to say, there's only so much you can do with the rear portion of that vehicle blending back into the the trunk. There's only so much you can do with that, and they're trying to over and over. You got to smoothen these things out. You want as much airflow as possible. We all want the biggest engine possible. Well, to get that, these things need to be as aerodynamic as possible, and well, there's some give and take to that, and slight Camaro vibes to that. Though I don't think it was intentional. I don't think by any means Ford's looking over at Camaro going, "Hey, we're sell more than you, but we need to steal your design. So I only poke at the Camaro thing about it, once again, through design efforts. That's about what they have to do. But overall, I still think this thing is going to be a hit for Ford. Where are you guys at with this thing? The idea that nearly 500 horsepower V8 engine, that's pretty freaking epic. And are you excited to do the Reservations? And seeing how Reservations, seeing how they've kind of effed that up with the Bronco and the Maverick, I am happy that when Ford brought this vehicle out, they didn't open up the Reservations. No, let's hold off on that for a little bit. I think Ford has learned their lesson with that and said, hey, let's do Reservations closer to time of launch. Now, we do know this vehicle will be coming out in mid-summer. They I think late June, early July is usually kind of traditionally for Ford when they bring the new models out. And I, for one, am excited, and I can't wait to hopefully get to do some press drives of this vehicle and go from there. So in the comments, let me know what you think. There's a lot more. Once we get more info about this vehicle, there's a lot more we can talk about. Till then, we just know the couple little things. And the one thing I really want to know about is the remote rev. I have a feeling that you grab your remote and you twist it like that, turn it down, kind of like a game controller, and it does a little bit of the revs. Let me know what you think. So whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or this GT I'm damn sure gonna drive, this has been your All Terrain Nation, and we've been zooming around this Mustang. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.